Next tonight, we are going to revisit one of the most dangerous new criminal organizations in the country. When we first reported on a street gang called the Gangster Disciples last year, they were terrorizing entire neighborhoods in the city of Chicago. They were making a fortune peddling illegal drugs, and they were putting their manpower behind local politicians they favored. We're coming back to them tonight because their ambition is larger. The Gangster Disciples of Chicago have gone national. The result of an ABC News investigation from Aaron Hayes.
Where'd he go? Put your hand.
Police in Mobile, Alabama never expected they'd be waging battle against organized national gangs.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
But those gangs are here.
To the heart, man.
They're armed.
This is 25 automatic, rapid fire, you know.
And they are dangerous. These gangs are the nation's notorious Big Three. From Los Angeles, the Bloods and the Crips. And from Chicago, the Gangster Disciples, known in Mobile as Gangster Disciple Folk. Their sign, Satan's Pitchfork, is the most prominent in Mobile.
When you see that pitchfork, that's Gangster Disciples. This isn't artwork. This is saying something. This is claiming a territory.
Why would big city gangs stake out territory in Mobile, a quiet southern seaport thousands of miles away from the gangs' home cities? They want it for one reason. It is just one more market where they can sell drugs.
They ain't down here to live. They ain't down to stay. They down here for money and money only.
It is a serious and deadly business.
We've had a tremendous increase in homicides, in robberies, and assaults. And much of this is gang-related.
Because we had people moving in from the bigger cities, seeing a market that was available.
A very good market in small cities like Mobile, where drugs are worth more because supply is limited.
We got a couple of rocks, little ones.
Crack cocaine brings at least 3 times the money it would in big cities.
Oh, we sell dope.
And they're luring local kids to do the selling. These Mobile gang members told ABC News they were recruited by a Chicago gangster disciple who came here and fronted them drugs.
He front us dope, you know what I'm saying? Like he front me about $200. I go sell it on the corner. I can make about $500 back.
It is the profit potential in the illegal drug trade that has transformed the gangs into the nation's newest organized crime syndicates. And Chicago's gangster disciples are among the most aggressive. Not content with the drug business netting them $500 million a year, they're after more. According to the FBI, the Gangster Disciples have already set up new gang franchises in 150 cities across the country. They target cities with access to the interstate highways, which give them an easy way to transport drugs. Cities like Springfield, Missouri, on Interstate 44. 16 Chicago Gangster Disciples were arrested there this fall, their weapons confiscated, charged with drug dealing.
This is not the end of the problem. We have to keep going, otherwise this thing will consume our city.
On Interstate 25, Colorado Springs, gang conflicts here escalated after the Gangster Disciples moved in last year competing for drug turf. There have been 30 shootings here since August.
All right, put your hand. Come up here.
The gang also looks for cities where police are not ready for them.
They study the market. Well, it's the size of the police force. How are they trained? How are their investigators? They do a good analysis of the area. Organized crime always does that.
In Mobile, police have recently stepped up patrols and other efforts to slow gang growth.
We got a warrant for you.
Still, the gangs remain a powerful draw.
The gangs disciples, when they come down here from Chicago, they come with the money, the protection, the security.
Gang members become so loyal, some tattoo themselves with the gangster pitchfork. They follow bylaws calling for allegiance to Gangster City, Chicago, and to the Gangster Disciple chairman, a convicted Chicago murderer named Larry Hoover. There are an estimated 1,600 Gangster Disciples in the Mobile area, and the gang is working to recruit more.
I'm like a scout. I'm scouting for the best gangsters we can find to serve our organization with love. Somebody willing to die for the cause.
Sadly, more and more are willing to die and to kill. One of the first to recognize the seriousness of the gang problem here was Reverend Charles Harris.
And I've been crying out over the past year to do something about our gang problem and serious juvenile problem.
Harris has been trying to help gang members find positive outlets for their energies. get them away from gang life. He knows too well how difficult that can be. He says the Gangster Disciples successfully recruited his own son. Harris has not been able to convince him to break the gang ties.
I cannot compete with the gang. Wherever there's a kid that's looking for an opportunity to make some money and they can exploit that kid, they will use him. They will use him either until he's incarcerated or until he's dead.
All in $10 bills.
Because this is about money. The kids are the labor force for the national criminal gangs, and they are expendable. Often, so is the community. Many have learned the hard lesson that by the time the signs are up, the gangs are probably already in business. Aaron Hayes, ABC News, Mobile, Alabama.
We'll have more news in just a moment.